The time is finally upon us. That's right, it's time for us to look deep into my old DeviantArt archives and feast our eyes upon my old art. When I go to gather art for these videos, I wind up coming across a lot of art I completely forgot about, so these are just as much of a jump scare for me as they are for you. Some of these in particular I forgot about, so when I opened them up, I was just like, what in the world? We have some familiar faces in this part, like for example Lemon Square, because I would just not stop drawing her as a kid, so of course she will just not go away. And we even have a few new faces too. Isn't that exciting? I'm not going to make this intro super long, so let's just bring in that old art. I now have the displeasure of introducing you to the first picture I ever uploaded on DeviantArt, posted on December 14th, 2009, when I was still too young to even be on DeviantArt. This is Natalie the cat, in case you couldn't tell by the obnoxiously sized font at the top of the picture. And I think I drew her maybe 2 to 3 times and then I left her to die. Looking at this now, I think that was for the best. I'm not sure if I should start with the fact her arms are literally coming straight out of her chest like poles, or the quote, "whoop, I sew one" text on the left side of the screen. But now in saying that, I think there is value in sharing that this was titled, Natalie, Whoop, I Sew One. Like, that's great and all, but what did she win? Clearly, it was not the having arms and legs that look like an actual person challenge, so I don't really know why she's celebrating. There is absolutely no backstory behind this picture, and I think that adds to the humor of it all. Like, do you ever just celebrate your ambiguous win in front of a giant gradient of the pansexual pride flag with the world's ugliest colored flowers scattered around the place? Even though her body looks like a car crash, I will give my past self points for actually drawing the hands the right way, and then I will immediately take those points away for the obvious spot on her hat that's not filled in. Like, girl, come on, it would have just taken you 2 seconds to fill that in. Okay, this is really bad, but I think it's a good warm-up. At least she's smiling. And the background is in black. These are all good things, right? What did I just say? What did I literally just say? Girl, what the hell is this? Okay, before we unpack all of this, I just want to point out this was uploaded the literal next day after the first one. Last one was posted on December 14th, 2009, and this was posted December 15th, 2009. Like, damn, I really said, yeah, she's had it too good for too long in these past 24 hours. Time to kill her. What is this? I think the thing that floors me the most about this piece is the text. Like, the slightly ajar, "help me, ... text in this horrible cyan blue in Times New Roman font. I think it just looks so ridiculous, I can't get over it. I'm also obsessed with how it looks like there's nothing wrong with her and she's just lying on the floor. Like, girl, just get up, stop being so dramatic. Okay, well, upon further inspection, it looks like her arms are 2 different lengths, so maybe that's what she's referring to. And also the hand on the shorter arm looks like a deformed cauliflower. I'm a big fan of this horrible burn and dodge shading with no light source to be found too. Alright everyone, let's say bye to Natalie because we're leaving her here to die where she belongs. So remember how a few minutes ago I was talking about getting jump scared by old pieces I completely forgot about? Yeah, this was one of them. This was drawn March 10th, 2010, and what in the name of God's green earth is going on here? The text on the picture, "They don't love you, they don't even know who you are. Do it, Millie, kill them now." A lot is going on here. So her name is Millie, but I don't know A, who she is supposed to be killing, B, who is making her kill this quote them, or C, any kind of backstory to this picture. I do know it's supposed to be, mind control nonsense, but that's about it. What I don't know is how she's going to be killing anyone with world's worst drawn sword and a broken hand to wield it. Maybe she's gonna go kill someone who called her ugly, but in that case they would be justified because this design is horrific. Why does she have that weird zigzag pattern in her hair? Why does her hair match her ears? Why this navy blue with the bright red and a royal purple and silver and dusty brown? Here's a question for the audience. You are presented with this girl and her sword. What do you do? The answer is you stomp her under your shoe like a bug. Problem solved. If you miss seeing Lemon Square, then today is your lucky day. Or your unlucky day. It's probably your unlucky day. Sorry. But here we have Lemon Square with another character of mine who I think was named Tateo, randomly standing in the dark outside, covered in the default Photoshop grass brush, looking like they're also ready to fight someone. This was drawn September 7th, 2010, and it's actually from an old fanfiction I wrote on my old OCs called, quote, Secret of the Symbols. You will never guess in a million years why I called it that. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before in a past part, but these symbols were supposed to be some old arcane ruins kind of deal, and each symbol gave characters a special power. Somehow. I have no idea what this one was or what it did. I probably just stamped it there because it looked cool, but mission failed because it doesn't even look cool. Also, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking like, why are their legs so stumpy? Like, look how short their legs are compared to their torsos and arms. Did the symbols make you shrink or something? Can we also take a moment for Tateo's egg-shaped head and whatever that blue thing on her back is supposed to be? I have no idea what the hell that is. What is that? I'll give them one thing though, they definitely look more ready to fight than Miss Millie did, so hey, that's something. Now we have even more Lemon Square and even more art from that old symbol story. This was drawn 3 days later on September 10th, 2010. Here we see another symbol, groundbreaking, and this one was titled, quote, Symbol of Purity. Don't look to me for the answers because I don't have them. What kind of power is purity supposed to give you? Is your attack being a virgin or something? Making other people a virgin? Her attack is now you have no girlfriend. Sorry about that. I guess this isn't like the worst possible thing ever if we ignore the fact that one of her hands is backwards and the fact her legs are way too short and that once again the background is black. But hey, there's a big glowy symbol back there and her hands are charging with her cool symbol beam attack. I also love how her bangs are so high up on her head they are practically touching her ears. Like, how big of a forehead did I give this girl? We are beyond 5 head levels at this point. I also just know I felt so cool being able to make that glowing outline effect around her. I know I felt like I was all that in a bag of chips for that one. It's really not impressive whatsoever, but I'll let my younger self have this one. At this point, you're not surprised by the dark and or black backgrounds. No, you've come to expect it from me by now. You are, however, asking yourself what the actual hell is wrong with you. And I wish I could answer that for you. I know I say all the time, this is a lot, but like, the blood splatters all over this picture. It's so funny, you can obviously tell it's a brush by that sharp cut off edge some of the splatters have. Alright, let me try to explain myself. This was drawn October 9th, 2011, and this character's name is Blackberry. His whole thing used to be he was like second in command of this really mean gang, but he was also like secretly dating a girl the gang always went after, yet they still went after her. 10 out of 10 boyfriend, everyone. If this is your boyfriend, you need to leave him. Alright, there's a lot of negatives here, but let's look at the good things. His legs aren't super stumpy, but his torso's really long. And like, you know, he apparently has a giant wound in him. How is he still standing? It looks like he's bleeding from the stomach and the heart, and yet he's still standing, screaming at the sky? I can't even tell if he's supposed to be angry or distressed or both. And why is he holding this weird pose with his hands? Was he stabbed or did he do the killing? Did one of my characters finally kill someone? Also, just the amount of blood all over this picture is a little overkill. Like, girl, we get it. You wanted to draw an edgy picture. Can we clean up the set a little bit? Moving on. You know what? We're just gonna ignore the black background this time. Also, don't be impressed. I'm pretty sure I just grabbed that background image off of Google and called it a day. Anyway, this was drawn on November 25th, 2012, and this character's name was Future. I say was because it's no longer Future, because that's literally the stupidest name ever. She was in one of my past art tours. I don't remember which part, but I think she said she was one of my favorite characters. And that's true, she was. She used to be just a black and pink Cream the Rabbit, and this was my first attempt at redesigning her, and it's not good. Why does her shirt say her name on it? Come on. And why is half of her pants missing? Why is she walking around with one pant leg? She had psychic powers, which she's supposed to be using here, but it just looks like she's doing some weird jig while also really surprised about it. You can certainly say an attempt was made. Fun fact, actually, I always talked about how much I loved this character, and keep in mind, I was just a kid, and then some grown adult dude commented on art of her and told me he had no idea why I liked her so much because she's an awful character. Like, imagine having the audacity to say that to someone. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, she was an awful character, but good God, I'm allowed to say that, not some random jerk. Anyway, I don't like this, but at least you can see improvement across these old pictures, so that's something? I'm not gonna say it. I'm refraining from saying it. This was drawn February 23rd, 2012, and this character was Chi-Chi the Wolf. Her main personality trait was being the sister of another one of my characters that I liked way more. I like that I attempted to give her a neck and shoulders here, but her neck is as wide as a tree trunk, and it looks like her necklace is actually choking her. No idea what's going on with that blue on the shirt either. Is that some kind of layering? I feel like the fashion people on TikTok would eat her alive for that one. We can see from the awful shading on this one that it looks like she's pressed up to some kind of glass based on that pattern on her hands. And honestly, the only thing I can think of is some stupid joke like when I'm locked up in my enclosure and they won't let me out. And also, they won't turn the lights on, so now I'm in an invisible cage in the dark. But for some reason, I'm backlit? Why is she backlit? She's in some kind of prison, but the loud aesthetic lighting for her? I don't get it. Maybe it's not for us to get. So this was drawn on February 19th, 2012, and I feel like I need to leave just looking at this. Like, not the lyrics is sexy, naughty, bitchy, written in rainbow font placed randomly on the left. Can someone please tell this girl that there is nothing sexy about having two really long broken arms standing under some really harsh colored lights? This girl's name was Nanette the quote punk rabbit. I guess the fishnets on her ears and black hair with pink streaks somehow made her punk. And this is really bad. Why is she standing with her arms above her head and her legs spread apart like she's getting ready to do a split? Also, that pattern on her shirt is awful, especially with whatever's going around near her neck. Or where her neck should be, I should say. Big fan of how her tail is coming out of her legs, too. Maybe she should see a doctor about that. That, like, trying to be sexy face is also absolutely killing me, too. Like, cringe culture is dead, and people who call other people cringe for having fun are just mean-spirited. But, like, I drew this. I can say it. This is cringe. I don't want to look at this anymore. Get this the hell off my screen. And for our last picture of the video, we're jumping all the way to December 29th, 2013. I was gonna say you can also see the improvement in this picture, but on second thought, this isn't great. I mean, the girl is literally just a head, torso, and arms with some janky hair to cover up the fact I didn't know how to draw the rest of the body. Both of these characters have been in this series before. As a quick refresher, the orange rabbit is Citrus, the guy who keeps coming back, and the pink one is Claire. Their things were that Citrus was Lemon's ex who still loved her, but also wanted her dead for leaving him, because that makes sense. And Claire wanted to date Lemon's at the time boyfriend, so she also hated Lemon and wanted her dead. Also, they hated each other and wanted the other one dead. Why were all my stories so violent? But anyway, this especially makes no sense because they literally hated each other, so I'm not sure why she's tenderly holding his face and crying over him, or why he's posed so perfectly if he's supposed to be unconscious or worse. But we can all say this is definitely not the worst picture we've seen here today. Hold on a second. I just now saw that really hard to see text on the left of the screen. Why does it say forgive me? Is she the one that did this to him? But then why would she be sad about it? I would do anything to have some kind of context for this picture, but the absolute tragic part is I don't think there ever was context. I think I just drew nonsense and told everyone to figure it out for themselves. Thanks, me. And with that, we've concluded another installment of my old art tour. Every time I go to gather a picture for these, I see so many gems that I can't wait to roast one day. So don't worry, there's still more of these to come. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Liking and subscribing would be really appreciated, but then again, I just showed you some of the world's worst art and now I'm asking you to subscribe. So you know what? Do what you will. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!